word forget, because you'll see how this will come up in a minute. By a show of hands, so how many of you are in sales? I'm just curious. Okay, everybody's hand should have went up. Not to call you out or anything, because again, what you believe to be true for you is true for you. The thing is, when you think about what sales truly is, building trust and rapport, influencing people with integrity. Now, I use the word integrity. There's a lot of people out there that can influence, persuade people to do things, but it's unfortunately out of integrity. I want nothing to do with those people or those situations. I'm all about integrity and building relationships. If you notice this part of the country, especially here in the Bible Belt, or as they call it, the belt buckle, isn't it true it's all about relationships or relationship marketing? Absolutely. Okay, that would be the audience participation part. Yes. So you haven't had your food yet, so let's keep that energy going. So what happens is it's so true. But it's also true that just like everywhere else in the country, people are scared, they live in scarcity, they're afraid, fear can immobilize them, they don't know what they don't know. So in the short time we have today, I'm going to go over a bunch of things, and you can take those notes and use them any way you want. And then hopefully at the end of this meeting, you'll have a couple more nuggets than you had before you came. And then for those of you who like to join me while I'm still in town, we live locally, but I travel all around the world. If you'd like to get together with a coffee, for those of you who don't know me, I love to grab a cup of coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. You can have coffee, and I'll grab water, smoothie, whatever, but I'm good, so don't feel like that's going to stop. The other thing is this. How many of you feel like you've mastered your communication? Be honest. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your honesty. I've had people raise their hands, and I'm going, listen, I haven't mastered my communication, and I'm the mentor to millions. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I've literally mentored millions of people all around the world. I was the former #1 trainer for Tony Robbins, for those of you who know who Tony is. Traveled all around the world with him, and then after 9/11 happened, I lost 2 dear friends. Decided to go to Tony and say, this is a great gig, I can stay with you forever. However, it's time for me to take that leap of faith and go out on my own. And boy, talk about a leap of faith. My very first speaking engagement was in front of 1,000 people, and Mark Victor Hansen of Chicken Soup for the Soul was there. He gave me a glowing endorsement, and from there, Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, the original Incredible Hulk, he and I did an event together. He asked me to work with him. He said I was a huge inspiration. Those of you who don't know his story, go look it up, or we can talk about it. From there, all branches of the military. The Pentagon brought me in. And some of you might say, well, what is a guy who does sales training? It's not just sales training. It's leadership. It's communication. It's relationships. And even though you might think all branches of our military, the Pentagon is some of the best of the best of the best, they still see value in bringing someone like me in to help take them to that next level. And that's what a coach does. A coach holds people to a lot higher standard, and they're a great leader. A great leader is a great coach. So for those of you who said, keeping your hands down, that you haven't mastered your communication, thank you for that honesty. Now, here's what I've written down for you. Most people disconnect daily, and they're incongruent. You know what incongruent means? Okay, it's what they say and what they do are not the same. I see it all the time, from even pastors, politicians, business people, leaders, to entry-level people. What they say and what they do. I hear people all the time, even here in the heart of the South, look at me square in the eyes and tell me something. I'm like, stop telling me, go show me, go do it. Because anybody can tell you they know what to do, but my thing is, are you doing what you know? And again, of course, there's people who don't know what they don't know. So when I talk about this right here, I'm going to ask you a question. If I was able to show you today, in the short time we have together, that I can help you like one step closer to mastering your communication, how many of you by show of hands would like to learn about that? Okay, good. Every hand should go up. Good. And the other thing is this. If you take your notes, write it down. If not, make sure you check out one of these videos. The quality of our lives. The quality of our lives. Quality of our lives is based upon the quality of our communication. I'll repeat that. The quality of our lives is based upon the quality of our communication, both internally and externally with the outside world. And just to kind of take that a step further, we self-talk up to 500 words a minute. And most of us on this planet, and trust me on this, I don't get called the mentor to millions because I've worked with a few dozen people. When you've worked with as many people as I have in all facets of life, you know this to be true. Everybody, and I mean everybody, has that self-talk. And most of that self-talk is things like, don't do it, don't go to that, you're not good enough. Remember what happened last time? Don't speak up. Oh my gosh, they're going to make me stand up and do my elevator speech. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to end up standing up and sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Right? Well, if you don't have an elevator speech, you might want to contact my wife. Not only does she help people write their elevator speeches, you know Chicken Soup for the Soul? She's written many of the stories in that book. She's written people's books in, not only in this room, some of you who know who I'm talking about, but the others, best-selling books. But she's the type of person like in the South or in like, Nashville, she's the songwriter per se. She'll write the song, she'll help you get that thing out there, and then you can go out there and take all the credit. Because again, it's your story, but it's being able to pull that story out of you. Because again, it's your essence. And again, it's all about the relationship. So again, the quality of our life is based upon the quality of our communication, both internally and externally. Think about it. We self-talk up to 500 words a minute, and most of that self-talk isn't serving. It's negative. It holds us back instead of helps us move forward. And then again, isn't it true that besides talking the self-talk we have, we need to be able to communicate with the outside world? If all of you are in agreement that in some way, shape, or form, you're either in sales, whether it's with the clients, customers, and people you serve, or it's with your children, grandchildren, your partners, the people in your lives that you care about, the people that you first walked in here, how you connect with them, because not everybody communicates the same way you do, true? Not everybody communicates the way I do. If you knew my communication style, I'm going to give you a version of it here today. I'm used to speaking in front of tens of thousands of people. Then I come into groups of small, intimate groups. I have to change and adapt constantly, not only to the people in the room, the size of the room, the part of the country or the world that I'm in, but also to what people are feeling. I watch people, I study people. Even in this room right now here today, I can pick up on things. And I'm not going to call anybody out or pick on you, so don't worry. But what I'm saying is that when you get to a point when you're really good at what you do, right? Some of you know what I'm talking about. When you're really good at what you do, you can help people. Because a lot of times in sales, what happens? You might feel like you're here, they're here, and the tendency is to try to bring them up to your level. It doesn't work like that. You've got to go meet them where they're at, build a rapport with them, connect with them, and influence them with integrity, and then you can help take them on the journey that they're supposed to be on. And again, that's what's important. Even though you might say I'm in sales, many of you in this room don't realize it. You're leaders. You're coaches to the people in your lives. Now, I wouldn't suggest you leave here today and then or tonight and go home to your spouse and start trying to coach them. That's not the best. And I don't want to get phone calls or emails from your spouse and say, Keith told me I'm supposed to, because for the women in the room, you know what I'm talking about? When we have issues, or I shouldn't say we, but you as ladies, when you have issues, concerns, or challenges in your life, per se, I'll use those words for now, and then the men in your life, what's the typical thing that they all want to do?
Fix it.
Fix it, right? What do you really want from them?
Support.
Listen, right? You want to listen, be empathetic, be sympathetic, not try to fix you and coach you. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to help you today and share with you some power words. And these are words that sell and attract. Because I guarantee you, I see some of the best, not only here in Middle Tennessee, but all around the country, not doing these things. So if they're not doing it and they're the best of the best, they can learn, right? And if you, not saying that you're not the best of the best in your industry or in this room, but more than likely you're not doing this because you're following the same lead that many of these people are. So if you want to separate yourself and be truly outstanding, and when I say the word outstanding, it's if you want to be outstanding, you have to stand out above the rest in everything you do. So if you're taking notes, I'm going to have you write a couple of words down on one side of the paper, and then give yourself a little bit of space because I'm going to have you write another word. For those of you who are videotaping, you can let people know who are not taking notes. Hey, listen, I videotaped it. It's Facebook Live. Check out the video later so you can go back and watch it. The first word I want you to write is the word should. Should. Now, put a little arrow next to it. Give you an example. How many of you in this room have used the word should where you're like, I really should take better care of my health. I really should be working better with my finances. I really should be better with my relationships with my spouse and my kids. I really should go to those networking events. I really should focus on relationship marketing. I really should. I should. How many people have ever done that? Be honest. Okay, great. What you are doing is you're shoulding all over yourselves. Hear the word I said, it's shoulding, okay? You're shoulding all over yourselves. And when you do it enough, you become one big giant should head. Okay? That's a speaker humor, okay? But you should. Stop using the word should, put an arrow or cross it out, and then make an arrow, use the word must. I must. We must. Our company must. Because it's a psychological thing. Our brain is a computer. Garbage in,
garbage out.
Garbage out. You ask it a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid answer. We are programmed like those lab rat monkeys in the lab. We are so conditioned. Madison Avenue executives, people know this. There's a lot of people in unfortunately, every industry. I'm not going to go through them because I might scare you from going into some of those places. But they know how to push your buttons. They know what to do. They know how to create scarcity, fear, lack. Then they also know how to tie you back into their stuff. But again, my belief is that when you speak from the heart, you can say nothing wrong. So when you talk about words like should, stop the word should from your vocabulary and start saying, I must get to the gym. I must work on that. I must form a better habit. I must let that habit go. Because once you start using words like must, your brain will hear it and then your body will follow. But again, none of you got to the point in this room overnight. But you can make the decision right now and begin tomorrow to start seeing improvement, right? So the next word is the word but. B-U-T, not the one B-U-T-T. B-U-T. B-U-T. And how many times have we said this or even had someone say it to you where you're like, you know, you're a really nice person, but, or you did a great job on that report. Great job on that sales, but. What do you do when you throw that word but in? You just what? Retracted, erased, or negated everything you said prior. You give a person a compliment, and then here it comes. They're about to lower the boom on me. But, bam. So instead of using the word but, use the words either and or yet. How would it be if you had to counsel someone, sit down with someone on maybe a review with work? You're going to sit down with your spouse because you got a serious conversation you have to have with them and the kids, and you were to say, you know what? I really appreciate that work you did. It was an amazing report. And what would make it even more amazing is if you're open to it. Could you do this? You did a great job. I really appreciate it. That was an amazing, amazing effort. Yet, if you're open to the coaching, I'd love to share with you something. Would you be open to that? It just softens it, and people are going to be more open. It doesn't take away from what you just said. And it also is not just the verbal thing I just did. This is great with your emails, your voicemails, things that people do every single day with all the technology that we have. And I'm not taking away from the technology, but for anybody who's read my recent posts, I know the gadgets are important. They're being used in a very powerful way right now in this room to get this message out. At the same time, I don't want it to take away from what I feel is the most important thing. Eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly, heart to heart. We can't always be there. So having that Zoom call, having that teleconference, having that Facebook Live, those things are phenomenal. But please, don't turn into the people that you've all heard the expression, that person had an affair with someone on Facebook. You've heard those expressions? Well, I've seen people not have an affair with someone on Facebook. I see them have an affair with Facebook or with social media, if you know what I'm talking about. Use it as a tool. Use it as a compliment. Take this information and go put this into action and watch what happens with your relationships. Next word, if. I-F. If we do business together, if you go out with me, if we were to do this, if you were to give me your money, if. Does that sound like you're confident or certain? How about the word, cross off the word if and say, when we get together. Here's what I'm going to say to all of you. When each and every one of us get together one-on-one and have coffee after this meeting. Not literally after this meeting, but when you and we exchange cards and information after this. Then we will, hear no one, we will, but that's going to be coming up shortly. When we get together, when we do business together, when you and I share our journeys and our stories, isn't it a lot different than just saying if? Because even when people say to me right here in this Middle Tennessee, Bible Belt, relationship marketing part of the country, they look me square in the eyes and they say, I'm ready to do business with you. I'm ready to sit down with you. Let's move forward. I'm ready to take action. I'm like, great, how soon? Right now, yesterday. And I don't hear from them for 30 days. How many of you ever had that experience with people? Yes. And then I call it, the Southern maybe, right? It's like they look at you square in the eyes, but again, it's also Lodi, L-O-D-I. The law of diminishing intent. People have the best intentions, but they diminish over time. Things happen. We're trying to juggle 15 things at once. Heck, some people are trying to juggle one thing at once and can't get it done. I used to say the expression, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Now I hear everybody saying how busy they are. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. Stop being busy, go be productive. Go get it done. I'm one of the most productive people I have. Got 5 kids, multiple businesses, a 501c3, a wife who's also self-employed with multiple businesses. We're involved with our church and the community. We travel all around the world. I'm going to make some of you tired if I keep going. But the point is that not trying to compare. But if I can do it, then you can do it. It's just you got to start conditioning your mind just like your body. Next word, think. Next word is think. How many times, I think this is a good product. I think I can do this for you. I think. We think. Our company thinks. People don't want to hear that you think you can do it. They want to hear the word, I know. We know. And I'm not talking N-O, it's K-N-O-W. We know. Think about it. It's not just in the one-on-one or eyeball to eyeball. When you're sending emails out to people, when you're leaving voicemails, when you're sending texts, I got to remember all the things that we do nowadays. Not just call someone, send them a fax, all these things that we used to do or still in some cases do. You've got to watch the words you're using. Because a lot of these words that I'm saying we're using aren't self-serving. They actually repel people and push people away instead of what we want. We want to attract people. So I know when we sit down one-on-one. I know when we get together. I know when you share more about who you are. I know when you tell me your journey. I know when you tell me about this. I know you're from Wisconsin, and I know you're only been here a couple of months, but I know, or maybe rephrasing it back up, no more but. And I know, see, I just did that. And I know that when we sit down and get to know each other, you'll see that I was there too once. Just 8, 9 years ago, we picked up a home here. I knew nobody. So I know when we get together, we're gonna have a lot in common. But again, it's building that rapport. It's having and using those words. The next word is forget. Forget. I see this all the time in emails. I see it in people's conversations. We talk this all the time. How many of you have received an email from a chamber member, a networking event, a potential business person? How many of you have sent one out where you said, let's not forget, or don't forget to come to this upcoming event. Don't forget to be there. Don't forget to be there. Don't forget. Anybody ever have those or maybe used it? What you've done to the subconscious mind is you've programmed that person to what? Forget. We do it all the time. It's how we speak as a society, as a culture. Don't forget, please forget. Or you don't say please forget, but that's what you're ultimately saying. Don't forget to be at our event. Don't forget about my upcoming sale. Please don't forget. That's how we speak as a society, but it's not, again, you're ultimately, even with the best intentions, oh yeah, I won't forget. Promise you, they'll more than likely forget. So what you want to do is change the word from forget in your emails, your texts, your voicemails, your one-on-ones is please remember. Please remember. Can you please remember? Because if I said to everybody in the room today, do me a favor, don't forget to get one of my cards. Don't forget to come up to me afterwards. I know we're not all going to be able to speak and have a lengthy conversation, but don't forget to get my card. Don't forget to email me. Don't forget, you're going to forget. So instead, can you all do me a favor, and I'll even take it a couple of steps further with physiology. Watch me. Can you all please remember? Can you all please remember? Can you all please remember? Can you all please remember to make sure that after our meeting today, I know it's Friday, but can you all please remember to make sure you send me an email? Reach out to me. Do something. Drop me a voicemail. Make sure so we can set up, because my schedule is extremely nutty in a good way. So if you want to have an opportunity to sit down with me, which I'm willing to do, I need you to remember to reach out to me. Don't wait till Monday, because if you wait till Monday, it's not happening. Monday will turn into Tuesday, Tuesday will turn into Friday, Friday will turn into Someday, and someday never happens. Got it? Okay. Next word is miss. See this happening. Great chambers. I'm really good friends with the mayor of Mount Juliet, and he and I have had this conversation. And with people from some of the best chambers, some of the top Fortune 100 companies, you would think that they know this, but they still make these mistakes. Instead of saying, this is one networking event you don't want to miss. Don't miss our upcoming sale. Let's not miss out on that opportunity. Let's make sure we don't miss out on the window of that sale. Let's not miss. They're going to miss it. It's not going to happen, even with the best intentions. Because what you're programming the person to do is miss, to forget. So with the word miss, I want you to use these words. Please attend. Can you attend? Will you attend? Another word is participate. Please participate in our upcoming sale event. Please participate in our fundraiser. Another word is be there. Be there. Another word is join. Please join us. I mean, these are words that are in the vocabulary. I'm not pulling words or making words up. This isn't like, let's get the Scrabble thing out and see these words. These are words, yet we're not using them. Or we're not using them to our benefit and to your benefit. So the next one is lose. I hear this all the time, especially people who are in the health industry or they're trying to lose weight. Some of you know what I'm talking about. How many of you have ever tried to lose weight or know someone who's tried to lose weight? Okay, what's that old expression? If the person loses weight, they gain all the way back plus what, like 15% or 10, 15%? Because let me give you an example. How many of you have ever lost a wallet, a purse, a set of car keys, a loved one, anything you've ever lost in your life? What's the first thing you want to do?
Do it again.
What?
Find it.
Find it, get it back, right? So why would we want to lose weight? Oh yeah, I want to lose weight. Geez, I don't know why I lost that weight and gained it all back. Even subconsciously, we will do things because that's how we're conditioned. Now, when we're kids, think about how we've been trained. We lose our little goldfish, our little doggy. What do our parents do? Buy us a new one, replace it. What happens when grandma dies? Do they buy you a new grandma? No, they don't. But we're so trained, we want it, we got to replace it. So instead of using the word lose, and I'm not just talking lose from the word like death, because there's a lot of ways you can lose things, okay? Loss is more than death, okay? Loss or lose. How about using words like this? Let go of, release. Don't those words sound a little bit better? I'm gonna let go of the weight. I'm gonna release it. Or how to stop talking about losing the weight. I'm gonna shed it. I'm gonna get healthier. I'm going to wear a certain dress size or fit into those jeans, whatever. Do you see how these words can benefit you in everything? Not just, again, these types of conversations, but in the phone calls, the voicemails, the messages and texts. The next word is can't. I can't, we can't, you can't. Don't get me started on that. What do you think the word is? Cross off can't and put the word can't. We can't, I can't, we can't. And if I can't, I'll find someone who can. Don't make promises that you can't. Oh yeah, we can offer it. And you know that that price is not an option. Be honest with people. I'm not sure if I can do it, but we're going to find someone who can. Right? My daughter just started working, our oldest, at Chick-fil-A. Do you know one thing at Chick-fil-A? I mean, they're a phenomenal company besides the great food. But one of the first things, have you, any of you ever walked into a Chick-fil-A and had them say, no problem?
Nope.
Nope. They don't say no problem. What do they say?
My pleasure.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I mean, today, I had to hang out I got to hang out. See, I stopped myself. I had to. I got to. Or we get to. Instead of I have to. That's not in my notes, but there's another one. Instead of I have to do it. I have to get up. I have to go speak at it. No, I get to come here. I get to speak and impact your lives. I get to do what I love to do. This isn't work. This isn't J-O-B. This is my purpose. This is my passion. This is what I've been called to do. You think I'm going to have better results than most people? And even if I wake up, who cares what the weather looks like? Who cares who's in the White House? It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be successful. I'm going to still succeed. I'm still going to win. I'm still going to impact lives. Why? Because I do these things that I'm sharing with you. I'm not going to ask you all to do any of these things that I'm not out there doing myself. So instead of using those words, and when you hear others using, I was at the Chick-fil-A today. One more person came up to me and was like, can I get you water? No, thank you. My pleasure. Or, my pleasure. My pleasure. And another person, my pleasure, my pleasure. I mean, I'm almost wondering, do you have someone in the bathroom that as soon as I walk in there, they're going to say, my pleasure? Because I'm like, I got this one handled. I don't need any help. But it's amazing. Just 2 words, my pleasure. Versus what happens? No problem. So what you're saying, what I was asking you is a problem. Just think about how it's just the simplicity of this, but it makes sense. And the last one on here is try. I'll try to do it. We'll try to do it. Our company will try our best. I'm going to tell you right now, Joy, all right?
Yep.
If I put this silverware set on there and say, I want you to try to knock it off the table, can you try to do it? Or are you going to either do it or not do it? I mean, right. Remember the movie Star Wars, Little Yoda, right? Yeah. There is no try. There's only do or do not.
Exactly.
So stop using the word try and say things like do, I will, we will, I am. When you start using words like that, watch how these things change. And the last couple of things I want to share with you is these are additional power words that will help people attract to us. It'll help us attract wealth and abundance and things in our lives. Use words all the time, like yes. So for example, when I'm asking questions, I didn't do it as much today, but when I ask questions, I'm like, I'm not going to even put the word no on the table. So watch what I say. How many of you want to have an opportunity to sit down and have coffee with me? Yes or yes? Right? And again, when you do those things, the word yes, and you get a person to start saying yes throughout your sales presentation or conversation, the likelihood of them saying yes at the end is pretty high, right? Versus you give them opportunities to say no or even think about no. But just injecting the word yes. Another word is when. We already talked about it. How about the word today? It may not sound like good English, but watch what happens when I say, so when would today be a good time for all of you to look at your calendar to set an appointment so we can get together? When would today be a good time? When would today be a good time? Anybody? When would today? Today, thank you. When would today, or how about this one? When would now be a good time for you to change your life, to make a difference? When would now be a good time for you to start a habit or let go of a habit that's no longer serving you? When would now be a good time for you to do that? That's a form of NLP. I'm certified master practitioner. I don't want to blow your brains out of the room today, because that's a powerful tool that some people use, and a lot of people use it. You all are using NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, but most of us are using NLP every single day of our lives without even knowing we're doing it. But again, we're repelling people instead of attracting the things we want and the people we want. Another word is decide, choose, enroll. Decide, choose, enroll, invest. How much is this going to cost you? Let me tell you what it's going to cost. How about, well, your investment. You enroll, when you enroll in our program. How about this one? When we commit to this together. When you commit, because again, isn't a commitment a strong thing? That might freak some people out, but I want to know you're committed. When someone works with me, I don't like, well, yeah, maybe. I was like, no, my time is valuable. There's a lot of people waiting in line to work with me. Are you committed? Because if you're not committed, then you know what? Get back to me when you're ready, or when you're ready to be committed. Or not committed, but when you are committed. Another word is agree. We need to agree. When you and I agree, does all this stuff make sense? And it's powerful, yet it's simple, but we're not doing it the way we could. The other thing I hear people talking about a lot is mistakes, challenges, and failures. Let me tell you, Keith, about all my mistakes. Let me tell you about my failures. Let me tell you about my challenges for the week. I get that that's real for you, but for me, I don't like to use the words, or prefer to not use the words mistake, challenges, and failures. For me, there's no mistakes, challenges, and failures. There's only opportunities, possibilities, and solutions. How about this? Goals, outcomes, results. It's almost like instead of using the synonyms or the negative word, flip it. Flip the word and find the positive. Instead of looking at the glass as half empty, it's half full or it's overflowing. This stuff, again, you would think that everybody you would hear. When my wife and I first picked up a home, I'm like, woohoo, hon, we're moving to the Bible Belt, the belt buckle. Everyone's a Christian. They all walk the walk, talk the talk. They're all the best of the best of the best. Now, that's true for a lot, but isn't it when you're dealing with people? There's also a lot of people wearing masks. There are people who will lie, cheat, and steal no matter where you go. So my whole thing is to weave through all that stuff, eliminate the excuses, eliminate the justifications. Let's eliminate all the BS. And BS isn't what you think. My BS is belief systems, okay? Everybody has belief systems, and most of them aren't serving them. The last thing I want to share with you is this. When you remember to use these words, and listen to what I'm about to say, hopefully this will be like an embedded command. When you remember to use these words, beginning right now, I'll repeat. When you remember to use these words, beginning right now, you will begin to see and attract more of the things you truly desire. I'll repeat it again for those of you taking notes. When you remember to use these words, beginning right now, when you remember to use these words, beginning, let me throw another auditory thing in here. When you remember to use these words, beginning right now, you will begin to see and attract more of the things you truly desire. I just wrote that this morning. And it's not because I'm some type of guru, but I feel like, you know what? Let's take some of the stuff I've already shared with you and let's wrap up with it and make sure it's solid, because it's a foundation you need to build on. What would you do? I really want you to think about this now. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? What would you do if you knew you could not fail? And what will you do if you knew the result? What would you do if you knew you could not fail? And what will you do if you knew the result? Everybody got that? I want you all to make sure that I get an email from each and every one of you. My emails are going to be on my card. And it's not because I'm going to sell your email or spam you. You don't do it, you don't do it. I'm not going to chase you because I might have your card, I may not get your card. But I want you to send me an answer to those 2 questions. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you are. And don't make stuff up, okay? Don't lie. I want to know where you're at right now. And tell me what those 2 answers represent me to. And that'll help me out too, especially when we get together. It'll also help me remember you when we sit down. So I'm not calling you by someone else's name. That all make sense? Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate it.